Defensive tackle is a major priority for the Minnesota Vikings this offseason. Last year, their defensive interior was amongst the worst in the National Football League. They need someone at 3 tech that can stop the run as well as get after it in the pass rushing game. Well, what if I told you that there was a 5-time Pro Bowler who has plenty of tread left on the tire and is pissed off for greatness, got that big old chip on his shoulder and just hit the market? Broncos, an old friend, George Paton, recently cut defensive tackle Jurrell Casey, former Tennessee Titans. Great. The move saved the Broncos $12 million in cap. They now have $43 million in cap space. So it's either Deshaun or Russ or keep hope alive. But the Vikings need to clear cap space and get in the Jurrell Casey business, because defensive tackle, priority, sure, but if you can check that box in free agency before you go into the draft, that frees up what you can do at 14, BPA. Plus, this is not exactly a high-end defensive tackle draft. Like, there are no Kinlaws, there are no Derek Browns in this draft. Christian Barmore is nice, but he might be the only defensive tackle taken in the first round, even though we do like the talent in day 2, but that's beside the point. Jurrell Casey, let's talk about him today. Background 6'1", 305, 31 years young, a former 4-star recruit coming out of Long Beach Poly, one of the most storied high school programs in the country. Read the book, When the Game Stands Tall. And yeah, Long Beach Poly is the antagonist in that book. It's really good. Stayed in LA, took his talents to USC, put up 138 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, 9 sacks as a 2-year starter for the men of Troy, first team All Pac-10 in 2010. Combine wise, so this is a good exercise in there's a difference between testing numbers and what shows up on film, because Jurrell Casey, yeah, is a lot more agile and quick than these numbers suggest. Was a 3rd-round pick, number 77 overall in the 2011 draft by the Tennessee Titans. By the way, it seems like DeMarco Murray's been out of the league forever, but it's only been, he was drafted in 2011. And in Tennessee, he really took off. He's always been hovering around, the top 5, top 7-ish 3-tech in the league. Extremely underrated. He and Daquan Jones formed a nice defensive tackle duo for the Titans for a number of years. Casey racked up 51 total sacks, 493 tackles, 84 tackles for loss on 382 pressures over 9 seasons with the Titans. Had 5 Pro Bowls, was 2nd team All-Pro in 2013. His best PFF season was 2018 with an 85.4 grade. His 90.6 run defense grade was 4th best in the National Football League, behind only Snacks Harrison, Akeem Hicks, and Aaron Donald. Perhaps you've heard of them. 2017, signed a 4-year, $60.4 million deal, and then in 2020 offseason was traded to the Broncos for a 7th-round pick, basically a salary dump. Like, he made the Pro Bowl in 2019, by the way. So cool. Titans were ready to move on. Jeffrey Simmons was ready to eat. You sort of understand it, but Casey said that he felt discarded like trash. And I get it. I mean, you're 30 years young at that time. You just made the Pro Bowl. The Titans have been your team for going on a decade, and then they trade you for a 7th-round pick. It's kind of crazy. He only played 3 games for the Broncos this season before blowing out his bicep and ended the season on IR. And since the Broncos cut him, and he doesn't have an expiring contract, Vikings can sign him today, like right now. And now, he's certainly not the elite Jurrell Casey from back in the day, but he's only 31, probably has 2, 3, maybe 4 good years left as a contributor. Now, if you're signing him, that doesn't necessarily mean that you pass on a good defensive tackle in day 2. So, like, if you're able to take Aleem McNeil or Darius Stills or Jalen Twyman, etc., when the Vikings are on the clock in the 3rd round, or maybe move up in the 2nd round for Davion Nixon or Levi Nwuzurike, I get it. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But this does take a major need off the plate for now. But Jurrell Casey still has that quickness, still has that first step, can still get penetration. Lower body strength has always been on point. He's got more ass than the models, and he's developed into one of the better run-defending 3-techs in the league. And coming in out of USC, that wasn't necessarily the name of his game, but he has done that. Plus, he still has some wiggle as a pass rusher, averaged 51 pressures a season during his final 7 seasons with the Titans. Plus, dude is pissed off. Like, he is revved up, ready to go. Like, he was fired up after he got traded by the Titans, and now he's just being discarded by the Broncos, who have plenty of cap space, unless they're making a move for a quarterback. But he's ready to rock and roll. I love it. Money-wise, I don't think he spanks free agency, given that he is coming off an injury, plus his age, plus his production last year. So he probably will sign somewhere for potentially a one-year deal. Maybe it's a prove-it situation. Maybe he gets back on the horse in 2022 free agency, but maybe a 2-year deal, probably in the somewhere in the neighborhood of $8-9 million per year, maybe up to 10 or 11 with incentives. I think that's probably the best that he's going to get, especially in a free agent class that has a guy like Leonard Williams who's going to get $20 million per year, and Ndamukong Suh is probably going to cash in a little bit as well. I mean, J.J. Watt, in terms of defensive interiors, if he goes to the Bills, I mean, maybe he gets $14 million per year. I don't know, but the Vikings can make it work with Casey. So you're telling me that if the Vikings cut Rudy, cut Shamar Stephen, whose role that he's essentially taking over, and a Thielen or Kendricks restructure, and you're able to bring in Jurrell Casey and take a major position of need off the draft board, well, not entirely, but lowers its priority, and then you're more comfortable taking BPA at 14, whew, let's go. Let's get that damn thing going. That's right. Be your thoughts. Bring in Jurrell Casey. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post on them in Venmo. But until next time, Skol. Production value.